Hello, and welcome to a new series that I'm doing called In the Witch's Garden. I am a big avid gardener myself, huge, in fact. However, I know that some witches are not much of a green thumb, and if that's not your cup of tea, this series is not for you. If you want to start growing things like herbs, though, and have a continuous supply of herbs and other things, I grow my own vegetables. I grow my own like chilies and things like that. We have an extensive collection, including this year we're trying pumpkins for the first time. So I will be having my own jack-o'-lantern pumpkins and pie-making pumpkins. So that is what I'll be doing. But before we do any of that, I wanted to start you off with the basics of what you'll need to know. Like you'll need, if you're thinking about not having it indoors, but you're thinking of having it outdoors, if you're thinking of having it indoors, this really doesn't pertain to you. If you're just thinking of having like some herbs like on a windowsill inside, go right ahead, start them now. However, if you're thinking of not and having them like in the ground or outside, you have a place where you can put them, like a balcony or a small garden or something like that, that you'll need to know this information that I'm giving you today. You'll need to know about your frost date, your first frost date, your last frost date, what your hardiness zone is. I live in southeastern Ontario, and my zone I know is zone B. So from that, I can calculate my first frost date can be anywhere from May 11th to May 20th, and my last frost date can be anywhere from October 1st, my first frost date can be, I put these in the wrong order. So my last frost date is in May, and my first frost date is usually in October. So from these, I can kind of correspond with the information on the back of, say, if you get seed packets like this, if you're starting from seed. We're going to start from the basics. So you can buy, when it becomes nice outside. Currently, it is snowing. We are under feet of snow, not inches of snow. We are under feet of snow, and it is still going. So it's this is kind of my pick me up. I'm kind of not a too fan of it's February right now, but you can start with I'm starting my garden in quotes. So with these frost dates and things like that, you can see on the back of the packaging, all packages have these. These ones are actually from Dollar Tree. You can see it tells you everything you need to know. It can tell you when to plant, how far apart they need to be. If you're container growing, I believe these ones don't, but some do tell you the size of planter if you can container garden these. I have containered these. I know how far to space them. I know what size of container I need. So that's we'll get into like actual spacing and things like that later on. But every packet has something like that. So regardless if you get it from the dollar store, regardless if you actually like buy it online, that's what the seeds tell you. Now, plants also tell you this. They're just on the little tag that come with them. So if you're getting like an actual like seedling from the store, they do tell you on the little tag when you start to buy them. Again, we'll get into seedlings when seedlings are actually a thing. Again, I am under feet of snow. So those are not we're not even going into planting seeds today. But you will, so that will give you kind of an idea also of what you can plant. The hardiness and your zone kind of tell you certain things you can plant. Certain things don't prefer a longer grow time. And if you're in one with a shorter grow time, you may want to stick to varieties that have a less long growing, like frost, from frost to frost. I also start with a notebook. This notebook, I actually have planters. So I have how many of one planter, and I have 5 30-gallon planters. I've got 3 10-gallon planters that are rectangular. I've got 2 that are cylindrical. Now, I may add to this year, but this way I can kind of keep track of the ones I do have, ones I don't have. And then, so what I start to do by doing is doing this, and then figuring out what I want to plant. Not can plant, not anything like that. I also have a list of seeds that I have in the binder. I also have this, so I'll bring these out and I will see what I want to grow this year. I don't understand. So I've got these rainbow sunflower seeds that I have. I have bean seeds. Bean seeds can be sown directly into the ground, so I know I don't have to worry about those. Lettuce seeds, so I know how long each of those are going to take. And you kind of can build a growing schedule around how long all of your plants are going to take and things like that. So get yourself a notebook, and this is all you really need to start planning. Come up with, what do you want to plant? Do you want to focus on, say, herbs that you use in your spellcraft? Are you a kitchen witch and want to start growing, herbs and things like that? See what you need. You can research what plants prefer before you even have seed packets, for heaven's sakes, and kind of get an idea of what you need to start. I am saying directly from scratch. If this is your first year growing, it'll give you an idea of how many planters you want to start out with. Maybe you only start out with 5 plants, 3 plants, 2 plants. It's up to you. Do you want to grow rosemary? Do you want to grow oregano? Do you want to start incorporating things like lettuces, or even peppers? Because you can use peppers in your spell work. We do have plenty currently posted podcast episodes about a whole bunch of that kind of thing, so you can always look into it. And this will also tell you how large the containers you need, because you'll also be finding out, those packets also tell you whether they need full sun, they prefer a little bit of shade, that sort of thing. Kind of sketch out too your, I did that in past years, but I don't have it in front of me. Sketch out the garden that you want in the book, that you do want to, the space that you're using, so that you can kind of get an idea of what will fit. This is just the planning stages of your garden. I know I'm getting itchy feet too, but just start with this. Plan, see what you want to grow, see what those conditions you're growing in, see your frost dates if you're trying to go in the ground, things like that. That's all you really need to start off with when you're planning your garden. Seeds and stuff come later, but again, check your frost dates and then check how long. I know one of my things does say, let's see here, this one does, I believe, specifically for these seeds, they do. No, it's this one. And if they don't have it on the key card packet of how long they take before germination, so This one says for an earlier crop, start indoors 3 to 4 weeks before last frost. So they do kind of tell you when you should be planting them. A lot of the direct sow ones will. Now also keep in mind that a few different ones, if you're thinking of being a little bit more adventurous and doing things like garlic, or I believe turmeric's the same way, they require a cooling off period. So they actually are required to be planted before the first frost in order for you to get a crop for the next year. So just keep those things in mind when you are planning your garden. And again, just start with a plan, and we will continue in episode 2.